Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Hi.
Good evening, Pamela.
Good evening. Good evening, Pamela. Good evening, Reverend Lynn. Give us a wave. There she is. I just must explain, everybody, we've got a little bit of echo back. We're not muting Reverend Lynn for any other reason. We've not had word from Nick Brown to do said muting. We may be taking his lead.
They phoned you this morning.
Don't you be getting me into trouble, Gobby Dobby. That's why they call him Gobby Dobby, Reverend Lynn. I tell you. I'm just going to mute Reverend Adrian and I and unmute.
Good evening, everybody. It's wonderful to be here in sunny Bridlington, except, of course, unfortunately, I'm not actually near Bridlington. I'm here on the Cambridgeshire Fens in Littleport, but I wish I was in Bridlington. It looks wonderful, a wonderful place to be, and I'm so happy that you've invited me this evening.
Oh, bless you. You'll have to bear with me. I keep trying to find the buttons and I'm hoping I'm not going to wipe anybody off the screen trying to press the mute button. I get a bit click happy with the mouse. Thank you for that, Reverend Lynn. And we shall come back to you soon for a little address. Good evening, Deborah. And good evening, Trace. Trace.
Well, look, Trace, is it?
Yeah, we've got no picture of the doggy again. That's a shame. And that one is Adrian Green. Yeah, no, it's not a goat, it's a dog. Don't you start her off. It's only pulling your leg. I don't know why she doesn't show up anymore. There you go. Deborah's saying hi as well. That's lovely. So thank you for joining us, everybody. It is a lovely evening here in Bridlington, and we're all looking forward to our first live service tomorrow evening. We're very excited about it, aren't we, Reverend Adrian?
Yes.
We are indeed. And Della's joining us from Sheffield. So yes, we'll have 2 meetings. Yes, 2 hours long, so it's going to be great fun. So and thank you to everybody that's going to be supporting us. We know we've got a good supporting team coming to see us, so that's great. I'm going to unmute Reverend Lynn now so that she can do our opening prayer, and then I'll if you just keep quiet, Adrian, until she's done, and then it won't echo back, and then I'll mute Lynn so you can do your you know how it goes. Right, we're going, Reverend Lynn.
Well, hello again, everybody. I hope that those of you who've been able to join us for the start of this service will join us in prayer and put the worries and cares of the day away from you. Those who are going to join us in what is our future, which will be their present, we welcome you too. Father, Mother God, we thank you for our ministers and for their service and dedication to serve you. Thank you that they bring forth the fruit of the Spirit, love, joy and peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness and temperance. Dear Lord, thank you that our ministers are good ground, that they hear your truth and understand it, and they bear living fruit in their lives. They're like trees planted by rivers of water that bring forth fruit in their season. Their leaves shall not wither, and whatever they do shall prosper. But we haven't stopped praying for everyone, asking God to give you wise minds and spirits attuned to his will, and so acquire a thorough understanding of the way in which God works. Our congregation are merciful, as our Father God is merciful, and to acquire a thorough understanding and to judge only as they would want to be judged themselves. They do not condemn, and they are not condemned. Our congregation forgive others, and people forgive them too. They give, and people give to them. Yes, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running with wonderful good gifts of the Spirit as will be poured into their laps. For whatever measure they use with other people, they will use in their dealings with them. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you for that. I must apologise to her. It's a good job you knew I was on mute, because I had no idea I was gabbling on to myself. No wonder Kat were looking at me like, so unmute yourself, woman.
It was great.
Oh, there we are, look. All sorted. Everybody's meeting seeing us this evening.
Carol.
Lots of love.
Hi, Jan.
Lots.
Hi, David.
It was yours. It was your microphone, Adrian. I thought it was my internet. Thank you for just saying that, David. That's great. And we're looking forward to seeing you as well tomorrow evening, David and Anne. That's lovely. We're going to do the absent healing candles. If anybody would like their family, loved ones adding to the healing candles, please pop your comments in. And of course, we will send you lots of love. And even if you don't, we'll still send you lots of love and healing. And I'll just find the right button again. Oh gosh, me and my buttons, I don't know. You've got this to look forward to, Reverend Lynn. You've only got me popping things on the screen and I can't find the buttons. So, so here we go. Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, here we bring upon you all those listed on our absent healing books, that it may please thee to heal them, be they sick in mind, body or spirit, both those we know, those we don't know, and those who have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now. Amen.
Amen.
Right, that's lovely. Now, at Reverend Lynn's request, she'd like Reverend Adrian to go first with his poem. So I'm going to make him, it's his favourite bit, this one, I make him the biggest on the screen. And then I will unmute you, Reverend Lynn, and make you the biggest on the screen so you can do your bit. Over to you. Gobby dobby.
Come on. Today I took a little walk. I asked an angel for a talk about the way my life has been and about the things that I have seen, of all the pain that I have felt and all the love that made me melt, of all the times I felt alone and how the fear had chilled my bone. But as I walk and chat away, I feel a loving, warming ray that lets me know they're by my side, and I feel a happiness deep inside. An angel's love will never go, and when you need it, you will know. They'll fill you up with their pure love and all the warmth from God above.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's turn it.
I wrote that in 2009.
Beautiful. I'll just unmute Reverend Lynn and mute us so she can tell you what she thought of that herself. Hang on.
Thank you very much, Reverend Adrian Dobson. That was really lovely. When when I was editor of Psychic News some years ago now, for some years, I used to be inundated with poems, as you can imagine, because many spiritual people feel the need to write poetry, but some of it was perhaps not of the essence, shall we say, so it never got printed. But that poem that you have written, I would certainly have printed, because it really imbued with the real sense of angelic love. And people forget, love is a much maligned word, I think. People, now of course we can put little love hearts on everything we see. I went to the shops today, on Facebook, and everybody puts love. Oh, I love that. And even between all, people who would ordinarily express a liking for each other, perhaps suddenly love each other. And so I think it's become a little undervalued, shall we say. And I think that the most pure kind of love is that which we call angelic love, which Reverend Adrian obviously has grasped. He was probably inspired by an angel guide, and he can correct me if I'm wrong. But angelic love is to me, it's the kind of love that a parent has for its offspring, the kind of love, in fact, that God has for the children of God. And indeed, we are imbued with that love all the time. It's just that the lack of awareness of that love is often within us, because you know that we are loved all the time. And yet, as you say in your poem, Reverend Adrian, we often feel very alone and unloved. But that's not the case. And what we have to do is get back to basics, perhaps, of what love really is, and all the different facets of love. It's not just a little emoticon. It's not just a little red blob on a page. It's something that makes the world go round. It's something that brought the world into being. It brought the universe and the etheric world into being. In fact, it's the most important aspect of all our lives, and yet it gets undervalued. And, we now love everything willy-nilly. And it's a good thing, isn't it, to actually become aware of all the different kinds of love that there is. And, how many people you can love all at once. When Jesus said, love each other, he really meant that. He didn't mean love the odd person, love the person next door, but not the one after that, because you don't get on, or don't love the person across the road because they're so-and-so. He said, love one another. And that is the essence, I believe, of our instruction, to understand that we can love everybody in different kinds of love.
Right.
Because we love our children in one way, we love our partners, our emotional partners, our romantic partners in another way, we love our parents in another way, we love the person down the road in another way. There are all sorts of different ways of expressing those feelings of love. But the main thing is to understand that love is made up of so many different facets. It's not just a blanket term, to be used without thought. And I think that what I like best when we're talking about these little emoticon things that we can put on people's posts and things on the Facebook pages and so on, is the one that says care. Because I think that is more angelic in its concept than anything else. If you care about somebody, That's what love really is, care and kindness. St. Paul, I think, had it right. And that's so popular, isn't it? That letter that he wrote to the Corinthian church because they were being naughty. Yeah. And when he wrote that letter to them that was meant to be read out, by the way, you know, as we can read them out ourselves into our church congregations once we're back together again. And he said that if you are without love, you have nothing, you know, and this is the truth. So there's no need to feel lonely. And even if you do feel miserable, you know, for whatever reason, you must know that you are loved by the Almighty and that you're loved by the angels, because that angelic love comes to you from the world of spirit, and that hasn't got anything else attached to it except pure kindness, charity, and care. So, you know, please think to yourself in your darkest moments, I am not on my own. I am loved. I have an angelic being near me who loves me. And that angelic being can be somebody, is often somebody that you've known in your lifetime, who has passed over themselves and who comes close to you at times of sorrow and despair. They come closest when you are miserable and lonely. So just to know that is very, very important. And I suppose that's really why I would say I'm a spiritualist, because I believe in the communion of spirit. I believe that absolutely. And I also believe that spirit, that the communion of spirits, is with people who have been here before, who have passed over into that realm of light that we call the spirit world. And they are close to us when we are at our most low and dark ebb. So there we are. I hope that that's cheered you somewhat. It always cheers me up. It doesn't matter how, you know, what terrible straits you're in, you will always get help. You will always get help. Just call on those angelic beings, on those angels. Could be a dad who's passed over, or a sibling, or anybody that you liked very, very much. They will be there and they will help you. And with their angelic love, because as Jesus tried to explain to people, when he said there's no giving or taking in marriage in heaven, what he meant was that all those divisions and ramifications of our sexual identities, our genders, when we're down here, are as naught in the realms of spirit. It's totally discarded and not necessary. Yes, the experiences that we've had down here will count, but in actual, you know, terms of love, they count not. So you see, it all becomes angelic love, spiritual love, and you will get a lot of help. That's all I can promise you, because I'm speaking from experience, and I know that there are many people, many spiritualists who can all vouch for the same thing. So I'll leave you with that little thought. And again, you know, thank you, Reverend Adrian, for composing such a lovely poem and giving us all something to think about. God bless you, and God bless everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Reverend Lynn. I feel awful muting her all the time, don't you? Oh, yeah. You must watch back, Reverend Lynn, and see all the love that in the comments for you tomorrow, maybe. What's that? Who's put that? John Leppington, Cage Bird. Oh, yes, I know what he's talking about. Oh, hang on.
Contrary to popular opinion, I'm not immediately going to take to my bed after I finish this service. So I'm sure that I will want to play it back. And I'll tell you why. I always do that, you know, on a Thursday evening when I speak at the Little Port Christian Spiritualist. I never know what I've said any more than you know. So I don't know what I just said. So at the end of every service, I always play it back to myself. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness, did I say that? But, you know, truly, I'm not about to take to me bed. And I will be listening to it all again. Thank you.
Well, you've got more stamina than me, Reverend Lynn. I'll be going to bed after service. I'm usually zonked. Oh, hang on. Wait.
Now, that's another aspect of working with spirit and for spirit that needs to be looked at, because you should not be so exhausted after that. There's a trick to this. Now, if everybody's listening, right, what you do before you start working for spirit, when, of course, it's like I always say, it's the same as digging a hole in the road, you know, for that amount of time. It's that sort of energy that you expend. If you say to them, I'm just going to do some work now for you, I need the energy that I'm going to use replaced, please. And I always say cheat and say, and could I please have a little more besides, just to help me along? And you'd be surprised it works. There you are.
No, I totally disagree with that, Reverend Lynn. I'm quite happy having a light lunch before I start working and a big kebab to rejuvenate my energy afterwards.
I've got something to say to you, Reverend. After the public have gone, I'll be speaking with you about your diet.
And I think on that note, we better turn the service over to Reverend Lynn so she can do her do. We'll see you in a bit, Reverend Lynn. If you want me, give us a shout, because I will be listening backstage with intent.
Yes, can you tell me, please, Reverend Sarah, how long we have now for the mediumship section?
Of course, it's about 8:15, or whenever you feel, anytime. You know, if you've got another one to give out, then just do that. Anywhere after that.
I must tell you that many years ago, I served David Nason, the son of Jesse Nason. They've both now passed over to spirit, and I was at his church, and I was booked to give just a demonstration of mediumship, and he spoke. You know, he introduced me, and he said, "Well, now," he looked at the clock, and he said, "Now, if you get a bit of luck," he said, if you get a bit of luck, he said, you can go on to 9:15. He said, if you're not having a lot of luck, he said, you can finish at 9 o'clock. So I put that on a par with that, Reverend Sarah. Thank you.
Yeah, totally understand that. So I'll leave it up to you in your very capable hands, Reverend Lynn. I shall be listening. Good luck. Good luck.
Now, I was told, it was explained to me that I would give messages, communication to people who I saw in the comment thread. So I'm not going to go to anybody who is called Facebook user, I'm afraid. But if somebody would like, I should think that I'm drawn, right, I'll see who I'm drawn to, okay? And I see that, all right. Tracy, where have you popped off to? There was a Tracy. Is it, I don't know if it's possible for, yeah, okay. I was sort of wondering who was going to come up on that screen, but Tracy Jane Husk. Tracy, may I come to you, as we always say, and see what I can give you from spirit? Say yes or no. Right, okay. Thank you. Right, now, Tracy, as I was drawn to your name there, I felt somebody come very close who I feel passed over with a cancerous condition. I believe, I've got a feeling it was a man. Tracy, can you sort of say yes, no? Is it possible? Okay, I'm going to have to just carry on regardless then, I presume, if I can't see any answers coming up. Tracy, I have a man here. Oh, thank you. Tracy, you know, I have this man who passed over with a cancerous condition. He comes at this time because you yourself been feeling, as he said, he was listening to my address, and I always like to hear that. And he says that at this time you've been feeling very low in yourself. You don't show that to people. You know, people always think that you're managing very well and everything, but within yourself you have this little you know, feeling of upset and missing people. It's quite odd for me. Yes. Thank you for whoever's doing that anyway, because it's a bit odd to work without anything, but I can continue. Now, also, I feel that there has been a lot of upset around in the family. He seems to be giving me this feeling that things are not right, that things need to be sorted out, that there's some sort of outside situation that's affecting the family. I've no idea what this is about, but this is what he's telling me. So perhaps you can, yes, thank you. This is basically, Tracy, so that people can understand that what you're receiving from spirit and from this lovely man is actually the truth. And you know, I'm not just speaking to nobody, of course. Now that there was a time, wasn't there, in your life when you thought things were going to turn out very differently to the way they've turned out, and there was a sort of disappointment attached to that. But you've overcome a great deal in your life. This is what he's telling me. That somehow or other you've turned things around and managed to sort of cope very well. Okay, thank you. He's talking to me also that there were some things that he left behind that caused a problem as well, and he's not saying exactly what. But I've got a feeling there weren't lots of belongings, but I think that what there was caused some sort of friction between people at the time. So he's very sorry about that, but he's saying, well, that's what people are like, you know, and that's what some of them are like, he says. So I think he's siding with you in it, if you understand that. I hope you can understand that. And he's actually saying that he has been with you quite a lot. And as I speak with you, Tracy, I feel very almost a sort of a fatherly affection towards you. Would that be something you would understand? If Tracy could answer that. I mean, it's just that we would like to know, wouldn't we? We would all like to know. And if Tracy doesn't answer us, we won't know. But certainly there's, you know, when we were talking about love in that address, and he seemed to be very much in tune with that feeling that you know, parental love is the best that there is in his estimation. So again, he really did feel really, really rough, you're saying, before he passed over. And he was glad to get out of the body that he had, because really, he says, it was really finished with. And he says, you're not to take on about anything now. You're to live your life as he would have liked you to live it. And, you know, reach out and look at all the lovely things there are that you can. Yes, he was indeed. He was indeed. And And yes, he did feel very parental towards you. You know, that's the thing. So you must have been quite close in that respect, because you know, yes, he was very poorly, because he let me know about that, unfortunately. But he's not now. And he's doing all the things that he wanted to do, that he was prevented from doing for a while before he passed over. You know, and he had a wonderful spirit. He had a wonderful spirit, and he wants to pass that on to you. Yes, he was indeed, and he really does know the meaning of parental love, and that's what he links to you with. And he says that you are a wonderful woman as well, and you understand about parental love too. And I presume that that is to do with your own experience of parenting, Tracy Jane, because that's how I get it from him. It's that kind of approval that you get for doing all the right things. So even in the face of some difficulties, he's saying. So I'll say God bless to you, and to him. I haven't heard anything else. He was just, you know, talking 19 to the dozen, as we call it, and he's just in such a lovely place now. He just wants you to know that everything's fine, and you know that everything turned out well for him. So he was very pleased about that. So I'll say God bless to you, and pass on now to somebody else. Where are we? Oh, yeah, yes. Oh, I say, no wonder. Yeah. So there, we'll look for somebody else now to speak with. It's just very strange doing this. I think I should come to a gentleman, David Hind. I think that I would pronounce that, David. Right, I'll just have a sip of water if you don't mind. Right, David, there you are. Ah, okay. Now, oh, well, we're getting quite a lot of, you know, interest here. I believe that you have a very spiritual turn of mind. You seem to have lots of people around you. It's literally the air, if you can call it that, is buzzing around you with spirit. So would you understand that, David? Yes, good. Oh, I say, I've seen a picture of you now. Oh, well, you can't get out of that one. It looks as if you're dressed as a town crier. Yes, you are. Wow. That looks amazing. Lots of spirit. This is right, and also somebody who links up with good spirit, and you're known, in fact, as sort of like the life and soul of. Hello, yes. A really lively person. Now the thing is this: that deep inside you, David, I'm going to expose you. You are such a caring, sensitive person that almost everything that you come into contact with that is not very pleasant upsets you. So somehow or other, you've worked out how to present this very genial exterior, which hides the fact that inside you are a very, very sensitive person, very caring person. And you've got these people around you in the world of spirit who are keyed into that. They are keyed into you and everything that you try and do. Now, the thing is this, that it's not only a spiritual pathway, obvious, it's also a very good sort of way of living life that you have found, and you like a nice, comfortable surrounding to yourself, don't you? I wouldn't like to say that you were the original couch potato, but I think that you enjoy comfort, and you also try and make other people comfortable. And there's somebody over here who says that you were a lovely boy. So obviously this is somebody who knew you as a boy. And I feel very much that you have got a grandmother on the other side of life who comes close at this time and who is praising you for being the kind of boy that you were, and how comforting you were to her. Can you accept that, please, David? Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you for telling us. Also, right, okay. I also, I'm sorry. I also get little animals with her, and I feel very much that she would have had some kind of affinity with smaller animals like cats, for instance. I just have a purring cat here, so I have to give you that. And I'm hoping that you're not going to say that your grandmother was allergic to them, but certainly there's a rather large purring cat comes through with her, and I do feel that they're very attached to each other. I also see. I see. I wasn't sure then whether she was talking about her own, what she was wearing and so on, or if she was more concerned, I think, with what you wear. And I think that well, I wonder who the cat is that's purring, unless you perhaps have had a cat that you were close to in your life that comes at this time with your grandmother, because that often happens, of course. Our animals, they gravitate on the other side to the family members, of course, of their loved ones. So it could easily be that, David. Where was I? Yes. Sorry. Talking about your clothes, and there you are. You see, I'm so pleased. So there's no neck problem now, and I'm just getting this lovely purring sound. So obviously saying that they're fine. But yes, on the subject of your clothes, you won't let me get away with this. I don't know what's been going on, whether you've had to change your clothes recently or do something about your clothes, but certainly she's sort of sorting them through. David, are you going to let us know if you've been having to have a sort out of your clothes recently? Because your grandmother is literally sorting through and putting things to one side and so on and so forth, as if that's what you've been doing. Do sometimes people say, well, why do people come through from spirit and talk about sort of trivial things? Well, of course, they're not trivial to us, are they? They're not trivial to them either, because how we live our lives down here matters to them, and they're really keen, and she's really keen to see that you succeed. So apparently there's some kind of maybe some sort of puzzle that you're thinking about, or a problem perhaps that you're thinking of, that she's picking up on, and saying that you will succeed in overcoming whatever this is. I hope that you understand what that is, because I don't know. But this is a sort of discreet way of saying that there's some kind of thing that you're going to have to, that you're sorting out, you're working through, and that it will have a successful outcome. The other thing is that there's a lady on the other side who is with your grandmother, but who looks like a younger person. And good. There's this younger lady who would have therefore passed over when she wasn't as old as she should have been. That's what I'm being told. Right. She seems. I don't know if you're interested in herbalism or plants, but certainly she says that she helps you on that level, and she's also related to you. She's not telling me what relationship she is, but certainly talking about an interest in herbs and things like rosemary, for instance. I hear, and things like that, and I think that you quite like food. Well, if I can I'll describe her to you. She has a rather nice face. She's got sort of brown hair to sort of about shoulder length, with little sort of, a little bit of curl at the end, and she's quite slim and pleasant looking, and I would say possibly in her 30s, maybe. So she would have gone too soon. So perhaps you'll have a think about that. And she certainly helps you with all these plants and the herbs and things. And I think she feels that there should be more herbs in your life. So I'll leave you with that, if I may, David, and just say to you that the main message of this is that you are doing everything right. They want you to have that confirmed to you, because they say that you also, yes, and of course, as we know, that they hear our thoughts, and she would be close to you, when you are planting and looking at flowers and things like that. And so, of course, she can hear your thanks anyway. But yes, I think you need to know that. You are going to succeed in what you are trying to achieve, and that's fine, David. I was glad to be of use. Now, I think also, I always say now, I lamp. Oh, the lamp. Oh, that's nice. Do you know, I bought that in a second-hand shop. There. Now, let me see. Who else should I pick up on? I wonder. So many people. You see, it's like the bargain basement over here. There's all these people, and my dear guide is trying to marshal everybody there. And there's somebody out there has noticed that my clock isn't going. Well, I stop it, you see, so that it doesn't clang and clunk during this evening. And I keep getting drawn to Pamela. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it's Pamela anyway. So Pamela, may I give you a communication from spirit, please? Pamela? You have to say yes or no. Oh, okay. I will take that as a yes. Okay. Well, Pamela. So many people. Again, I feel that you must be a very, very spiritual person, and always reaching out to spirit for help. And that doesn't mean to say that you're in a lot of trouble or anything, but certainly I'm being told that you ask for help a lot of the time. Pamela, I want to also, I've got a whole load of not only just people but animals too over here, and it's a whole clamour. Yes, they do, and you know, I think that you've had some success with your requests. I feel that they're sort of saying to me, well, you know, we keep trying to help her. We keep trying to do the best we can for her, and you know, she keeps us busy. That's what they're saying to me. But you do have people over there who are close to you down here, and I have a gentleman that comes through. Oh dear, whatever it was that took him over, sort of grabbed him by the throat. So I feel that he would have had something, you know, troubling him. I feel that before he passed over, that he would have rather not have had the symptoms that he had, shall we say. And it sort of, he seemed to be sort of grabbed by the throat, really. Yeah, oh dear. It was really quite hard. And okay, thank you. What he's saying is, don't dwell on it, and this was what he used to say, you know, not to dwell on the bad things, you know, because it would make him feel worse. So in a way, he would rather think that, you know, he was going to be all right, rather than look on the, you know, on the downside of everything. And I feel very much that he was very upbeat, at least in the beginning, and managed to sort of keep that, you know, that feeling of being full of life going until he really couldn't cope with it. So definitely he is close at this time. I feel that the summer is a very important time. And I feel that there's an anniversary around this time. And I see, yes, I feel that there's an anniversary around this time as well. Now, of course, you know, people don't want to die at any particular time necessarily, but I feel that when he did pass away, that it wasn't at the best of times, shall we say, to have chosen. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if it was something that was going on in the family, or if there were some kind of problems around at the time that needed resolving, that he felt that he should have had to do with, that he couldn't actually cope with. But certainly, I do feel that that when he went, it wasn't at a good time, shall we say. And I feel very much that you've had a lot to put up with in your life, Pamela, and that you've overcome a great deal. And mostly it's because of your faith in those who are in the spirit world, and that you will receive everything you've asked for. There. So, Pamela, is that making sense to you? I can't see anything up on the screen at all. And of course, I suppose if I... Yes, absolutely. Yes, it does. And the other thing is to know, of course, that you get confirmation of that from them over there, by having said that before you actually said it, if you know what I mean. So that's good, isn't it? Well, you know, you're somebody who could really do with a break, with some time off, really, from everything. You try and do so much for other people that you don't really think that much about yourself and give yourself time to sort of get over things. And it may be, I'm being told, that it's your way of actually coping with life, to sort of fill it up with all sorts of things, so that you don't actually have to deal with how you feel yourself. But just to let you know that those in the world of spirit who are supporting you all the time want you to know that they are around you, and certainly yes. Now, funnily enough, they were saying about a break, weren't they? And you know, I'm sure that because I like to not predict things, but I know that there will be some kind of holiday for you, and that's not to do with this weekend. I think we're looking ahead, and I think also maybe you've been looking ahead to perhaps planning something either for much later in the year or next year. So I'm hoping that this little message for you has helped. And to let you know, oh, I see. And there's a child in the world of spirit who is telling me that they belong to your family, shall we say, and is also in the forefront of, has been in the forefront of looking after you and seeing that you are all right, and looking forward to yes, and looking forward to seeing you have more enjoyment in life as you deserve. Well, yes. We always have to be careful in public demonstrations, and this is more public than most, because of course, you know, where in a church we may have 30 people or 50 people, this way we get hundreds of people. So our business is very, very public. But yes, and they're also saying that you should not worry, Pamela, about him, because he's stronger than you think, and he's going to surprise you all. And just to say that you are viewed with a lot of love by all of those in the spirit world, and that's not just your family that's over there, gone before, of both of you, of course, but also from the guides and helpers. So obviously you are definitely in this way of life. And I hope, again, that that's some confirmation for you, and also some upliftment, because you need to know that where you may have been a little bit worried about your hubby, you've no need, and everything will be fine. So there you are. Say God bless to you, and I'll look for another victim. Thank you. Now you'll notice I take a sip of water in between. I always say to people, be very careful if you see a medium glugging loads and loads of water, because you see, if you work psychically on a psychic level, which is not spirit, you deplete your body of water, because water is a substance that is used when you use it, when you're using your psychic faculties only. And so a sip of water is fine to wet your whistle, but if you see people drinking pints, which I have seen on occasion on church platforms, be wary of any predictions you might get, because they may not be correct. Now, I shall find somebody else. Well, I just get communication from them over there, and pass that on. Now, we must find out. Oh dear, that's the trouble, you know, with these old people. We look at things and they're all over the place. Now let me see. John Leppington, you're always drinking loads of water. Are you indeed? Shall I give you a message, John? Would you like that? Yay or nay? May I come to you? There's no answer there. I would suggest that perhaps oh there you are. How lovely. Wow. That looks like a camera or something. Now, yeah, wonderful. Look at that. What a smashing looking chap. Fine figure of a man. Now then, John, you're always drinking loads of water. I take it that you do the work of spirit. Otherwise, I don't feel that you would have answered in that respect. And what I can say to you is that what they have always told me, them upstairs, we call them reverently, is that, you must alter your level of consciousness, alter your attunement, so that you don't use that physical energy, that it gets depleted when you're using this physical psychic faculty. So what you do is just, it's a really strange thing. You have to sort of calm yourself down in order to raise your conscious awareness. So I think that because you're always, I'm being told, because you are always, I bet. It's all about inner discipline. It's all about training oneself. It's not about listening to a load of lectures or anything. You can practice this yourself as an individual, but they are very excited to be able to communicate with you in this way tonight. And you do have a lot of potential and a lot of people over there who want you to actually, flourish in this way of life, because they're saying, you were born to do this, John. They're born to do this. So when you came here from spirit, you'd already agreed. And some of the, they're telling me that some of the sort of turmoil that you felt, sort of yes, no, about doing this work, has been because of you agreed to do it, and then you thought to yourself, oh, I don't know, do I want to do this or not? So it's definitely your your fate, your sort of contract, if you like, that you entered into before you came here. So I hope you don't mind me relaying that communication to you. But certainly you're somebody who would be considered a natural medium, and you would consider yourself to be that, I'm sure. And you have got people over here who, of course, are old family members, very old, but they're talking about you actually, knuckling down to things and sort of and do it in a sort of more structured way, so that you don't use up your own energy. Now you have been feeling, I see. You've been feeling really inexplicably sort of a bit depleted or tired, where you shouldn't have, and it's sort of worried you a bit. And it's basically, they're saying it's because of the way you are. You're sort of like a bright spark, you know, you're like a sparkler, you know, you're always, you know, lively and thinking all the time. And so you never stop thinking. And it's about sort of finding a focus, and you know, it's also about who you oh dear, do I have to, there's definitely an old person here, who you mix with. I haven't heard that sort of expression for a long time. But there's a lady here saying it's who he mixes with, just like that, who he mixes with. And to say to you that, you know, they're waiting to actually work with you properly. And I can mention my book to you. Not that you fancy settling down to read a whole load of pages, but it's called The Spiritualist Handbook, and it's got about 6 individual workshops you can do on your own, at home, in private. Lock yourself in the bathroom if you have to. I don't know where that came from, but this lady said that. You know, and really, The Spiritualist Handbook by me, and it doesn't cost that much, but it costs a lot less than these really expensive courses you can go on. You know, I'm not saying any more about that. And it's got loads and loads of stuff in it, and loads of information that you need to actually start to sort of sort your journey out. There's also a gentleman, a young man over here, because I felt that he was very close, and saying, go on, John, in that sort of, you know, joshing way. You're going to do this. And, you know, there are people waiting for you to actually embark on this next stage of your spiritual journey, because you're going to bring a lot of light into the world. You're going to bring a lot of love. And again, you know, I think perhaps from what this lady is saying, she's going on about it, I don't think that she feels that you've had the right kind of love in your life. But this is going to happen for you. And I think that you need to know, and they're wrapping it up now for me, and they're wrapping it up with you, John. They're actually saying that you should, oh look, oh bless him, that you should really, you know, feel that you are loved in that spiritual way. You need to be loved spiritually. It isn't all about rumpo pumpo. Who said that? I blame this old lady here. Not me, this one behind me who's older. And, you know, so there you are, John. I hope that that's helped you, and I look forward to maybe seeing something of you in the future, and hearing about your work. So I'll say God bless you, and I'll say God bless to everybody now, because I think it's probably they're calling me to time. Yes, oh, that's lovely. Lovely lady, but very opinionated, John. Very opinionated, and very opinionated when it came to you. And she wanted to get her point across. And now, you know, there's always that hint of disapproval about what you're up to, but you know, that's just what old ladies are like, and what old nanas are like, because I'm one myself. So I recognise that. So I say lots of love to you and to everybody. And Reverend Sarah, is it time for me to hello?
Hello, Reverend Lynn. I think I just got, oh, there you go, look, I was just going to root my copy out of the drawer. John Lepp, you really, really need that book, and you need to give me a call, and we'll help you forward. with the church and with your mediumship, because we've always said that. He knows this. I used to work with John Lepperton years ago, and so did Sally, who was on here tonight. And we used to see quite a lot of spirits when we worked together up at worked on the Holiday and Sea Farm camp. And in fact, we actually caught a spirit on camera, Reverend Lynn, would you believe? We had a 360 camera in the foyer, and we took a 360 picture and we all hid in John's office. When we looked at the picture, there was a lady, no, Reverend, no. There was a lady half in and half out of the counter. And John said, "Oh, look, Sarah, it's you, long blonde hair." I said, "John, I was stood with you in your office." We all went,
True mediums. Ooh. How wonderful. I'm really pleased then. Thank you so much for inviting me this evening. I hope that people have enjoyed the communications that they've had, and you know, I really enjoyed trying to sort out who was who and read the little bits and bobs. Oh, it's always nice to get confirmation for ourselves as mediums. You know, it doesn't matter how many years we've been working as mediums. It's always nice. Every message is you know, it is so important. Every single message. So I hope that tonight's been useful to people.
It's just annoying when they sit on your foot at 2:30 in the morning and wake you up. Like they did with me the other day.
Well, that's something else. Yes, I think they're things, you know, they are things that we tend not to talk about, Reverend Adrian, because it puts people off. You know, they don't want that. I remember having to stop people when they were learning to be mediums, standing up on a public platform and telling people that, "Oh, don't worry about your aches and pains. My healers will be round to see you at night when you're in bed." And you, what? And like, how we stop them running out of the church, I don't know. But yes, I've heard it all. You know. Yes, I'll send my healers round to see you when you're in bed tonight.
Yeah, I thought I'd got a burglar.
No, it's wonderful though, because you do get animals when the animals come back, and if they've been used to it, they often come and sit on your bed. You know, I remember that. Oh, the goat slept through it. Okay, cool.
Thanks, Trace.
The thing about sleeping as well, you see, if you're in a church, you know, I do recommend that people go to a church when it's open, because the thing about sleeping in a church is when the medium spots out, or the chairperson spots out, or the minister, see, in our cases, spot somebody asleep, you know, they can then administer full body healing. Because if you read St. Paul's in St. Paul's Acts, he went to Troas and he spoke, you see, and he told people he was going to speak until midnight because his boat was leaving the next morning. And what happened was that a young man called Eutychus, it was in an upstairs room, they were all gathered, and he was sitting on the window ledge. Well, there's no glass in those days, you see. They're sitting on this window ledge, and St. Paul is going on and on about stuff, you know. And anyway, Eutychus fell asleep. Well, he fell out of the window, didn't he? So to a man and woman, they all rushed down to see what was happening. And Paul, you know, rushed as well, of course, in the forefront. Oh, and he threw himself upon the boy, administered full body healing, and the boy then revived. And then they all trooped back upstairs, and Paul then announced that he was going to speak until dawn because of the interruption. So they all had to stay awake for longer. So, you know, we have in our church a Eutychus group, which is, you should have one, because you appoint people to look and watch and see if anybody should fall asleep, that they will then be administered full body healing. You'd be surprised, it keeps them all awake. They stay awake. They're mesmerized. Because the minute their eyes go like that, oh, body healing, full body healing.
Yeah, I could just see throw myself on top of somebody who's fell asleep. I'll be walking out
exactly.
in walking out in ankles.
No. It'd be ministerial, full body healing.
Oh dear. Well, it's been a fabulous. Sorry, Reverend Lynn, I've muted you then. I'm sorry. I was just going to ask you if you would mind doing the closing prayer. And I had to do that so it didn't echo. But what an amazing night. Lovely evidence. And you're such a wonderful lady. We love having you. We do love having you on. So I'll let you do the closing prayer for us if you wouldn't mind.
Well, let us all pray. Dear Lord, we thank you so much for allowing our loved ones to come close to us tonight, to bless us with their presence, their angelic selves. We ask you to place a blessing on all those who are good enough to tune in and listen to our service tonight. We ask a blessing on all of those families and friends represented. We ask that they be given a comfort and rest and peace they deserve within their spirits. We ask also, dear Lord, at this time, for peace and comfort to be given to all the animals in this world, particularly those who are going through it at the moment due to man's inhumanity towards them. We ask also, dear Lord, for the children of this world, that they should be given comfort, warmth, heat, food, shelter. All of those children who are in dire straits as we sit in the comfort of our homes. We ask, dear Lord, a blessing for all of those who are in dire straits tonight. We ask, dear Lord, for love to be put in place of hate in the hearts of those who rule the nations. We ask, dear Lord, for the safety and comfort of our gracious Queen Elizabeth. We ask also for her family that they may receive comfort and some peace from the problems that beset them. We ask also, dear Lord, for all those of every colour and creed and culture in this marvellous world of ours, that they should all understand that they are all spirit, all from the great spirit, all one family, one race, the human race, and that we should all, as Jesus Christ himself commanded us, love one another. Love thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy might, and love one another. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Lord, keep us safe this night, secure from all our fears. May angels guard us while we sleep, till morning light appears. Amen.
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 I'm just popping you on mute there, Reverend Lynn, to say thank you so much. We've really enjoyed seeing you tonight. And there's lots of lovely messages in there thanking you for an uplifting service. But I've just got to mention it. Saying of the evening was rumpo pumpo. I was laughing my head off down backstage. Rumpo pumpo. I thought that's what my grandma would have said. That was just fantastic. I love it. Oh dear. And may I just send healing out to Tracy, Jane Husk's family, who just had received some devastating news, and to Wayne Smith and family, whose father-in-law takes his final journey tomorrow. God bless you all.
God bless you.
God bless you.
And what else have we got to tell you? All right, next week's speaker is Graham Fitton, so please join us for that. We'll be drawing the raffle next week. Please make sure you tune in for Reverend Lynn and Reverend Nick tomorrow evening for Little Port. They're on at 7:40 tomorrow evening. And don't forget, sorry, Reverend Lynn, you know, I'm kind of like hijacking here, but don't forget, Reverend Adrian and I and Della are all at church tomorrow evening for our very first live service. We're so excited about it. We've got special angel buns and everything. So yes, very good. And on the 1st of July, we have got Irene Renshaw and Jane Pearson as well at church. So everybody, we need you to stay safe. Obviously, follow the rules, keep everybody else safe. Live a little, love a lot. Any closing thing from you, Reverend Lynn?
Well, just thank you very much for inviting me. I've had a lovely time and met some lovely people. And I will obviously play all this back to myself. So I will then find out what I said about the Rampo Pumpo and why I said it. I can only wonder at, what goes on in our way of life. I'm really not responsible for what I say. I really am not. So I say God bless you and thank you again. And it was lovely to talk with you, Reverend Adrian.
You too, Reverend.
And it was a wonderful poem. It really was. And I would have published it in Psychic News if it had been sent in at that time. But you were probably a toddler at that time. You were probably only a toddler. So, I know how to chat to people. But, lovely. Thank you very much, Reverend Sarah. And I shall take my leave of you then.
Good night. God bless everyone. And thank you for joining us. Stay safe.
Good night, everyone. Good night, everyone.